Hello, Noah here, and welcome to part 33 of my Contempt of Court Let's Play. Last time we we cross-examined, well, he called himself Jerry Jackson this time, but it was, definitely Terry Grayson. And we also cross-examined Snow for a little bit at the beginning, and then we then cross-examined the chief of police, and he kind of lost it. He got a little bit angry last time. So hopefully when we go to visit him today, he doesn't fucking kill us. But yeah, anyway, let's just get into this final investigation segment. We're actually getting pretty close to the end of the game now. So yeah. And I looked at the timestamp for this investigation segment, and it's about an hour and a half. So again, this is probably going to be cut into two parts. So I'll try to find a clean cutting off point. Today's investigation will be a tall order. Speaking will be a tall order. To my knowledge, there isn't much else to investigate besides those test results. But now that I have my trusty Magatama back, I can work on discovering the truth. Whether I believe Detective Smith or Chief Foy Da and who stole it doesn't matter. What matters first and foremost is uncovering the deeply hidden truth piece by piece. That, I believe, will reveal what Hemlock has been hiding so well, his identity. Well, I hate to break it to you, whoever you are, but your days of hiding are numbered. This time, Boogeyman, it's me who's coming to get you. Okay, that's enough preparation. It's time to get out there and put my plan into action. Oh god, Hemlock. Aw, you really gonna get me today, Nikki? Gotta say, I'll miss these little pep talks to have to yourself when you think no one's listening. By the way, nice play on words. No, Boogeyman, it is I who will get you! I bet you were planning that one earlier in the trial to use against me, huh? Well, you've done it, buddy boy. You've officially got me scared, boots shaking and everything. I might as well just give up with Phoenix right on the kit. Shut up. What was that? You mind saying that again, Slick? I said shut up. I'm done listening to your threats and insults. All right, real talk for a moment. I don't blame you for talking out of line there. I'm just a disembodied voice to you, right? What can a voice possibly do to harm you? You don't know me very well, but I know you a great deal more than you know yourself. I know where your office is. I know where you live. I know your phone number, for Christ's sakes. You think my threats are hollow? That I'm just a big badass on the other end of a phone? Well, I'm still waiting for you to come out into the open. Why don't you then? Just try it and see how quickly you get arrested. What am I thinking talking to him like this? Nah, it ain't happening for the moment. That ain't the way I've been planning the way it all goes. You see, Nikki, I'm a man who likes everything to go a very specific way. I've stamped out all negativity from my life by making sure that none of it ever happens. In order for everything to be hunky-dory, a lot of stuff has to be pre-planned. What does any of this have to do with the case? Are you saying you're involved? No, I'm saying that the way things are going right now, keep them on course. Don't go against the grain, slugger. The tiniest thing that goes wrong and I'm liable to... Liable to what? That was the end of the sentence. When I want something, buddy, I get it. I can do anything I set my mind to. Remember that. And when things get out of line, I take control and put them back in line, back the way I like them. Who knows, maybe I'll get the chance to prove it to you someday. But how can you expect everything to go exactly as you plan? Oh, come on, you've heard the saying, you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Yeah, but not literally anything, that's impossible. Nothing is impossible, champ. I'm living proof of that. Look, is there a point to all this? Tell me now before I hang up and turn my phone off. Easy there, Tiger. I was going to tell you anyway. That was my idea. And by the way, golden rule if you want to stay off of Hemlock's bad side. You do not hang up on him! God, this guy. I'd give anything to know where he is right now and send the police over. Now, this crime you've dragged my name into with no concrete proof. There's a very specific way in which I see it all ending. Here's my spoiler-free review. You won't be happy. You'll lose something very close to your heart, like you nearly did today. You can seriously guarantee that this will happen, whatever it is you're talking about? I guess you've got this all figured out, huh? You'll pay dearly for bringing me into this and risking my identity being exposed. But ho-hum, I'm sure you can look back on it all one day and laugh. I know I will. Now on your way, Slick. Don't forget that I'm always That's enough of you. That's enough of you out of you for now, I think. Better turn my phone off too so you can't call me back. Jeez. I've dealt with some real nutcases in the past, but Hemlock... Was he serious in that he feels everything should go the way he wants it to? Is it even possible for someone to have that kind of power? With enough money, you can. If that's true, then how much influence has he been asserting over this case? How much of the events of the past few weeks have occurred according to him? But then again, he does seem to be able to hear everything I'm saying at all times. Could my phone be remotely bugged or something? I'll keep it off for the time being. Feeling pretty creeped out at the moment. Okay, it's time to find out what's been going on. The true mastermind Hemlock will be brought out into the light for all to see. The truth, all of it, comes out today. Where should I go first? I'm going to go to the detention center first. I will not go to the detention center first. I will go to the police department first. Why did it go quiet as soon as I walked in? Hi, is the chief available? I have something urgent I need to talk to him about.
Oh, it's you. What the heck happened in court today? The chief's blowing a gasket up there. We've had to boost the thermostat so he can't come down here.
Yeah, but how long can it last? We can't hold out forever. Uh-oh. He still steamed about the hidden evidence thing. All the same, I have to speak to him about what happened today in court.
Rather you than me, pal. Going up, he's expecting you. But don't expect me to come running up with a stretcher. You're on your own.
I'm gonna fucking die. I'm in danger. Brr, it's even colder than ever in here now. He's stomping back and forth, snarling at something in his hand. Looks kind of like a...
You! Do you have any idea what you've just set into motion? The implications you've put me under? Well, do you?
That's what I need to talk to you about, actually, Chief Foida. I need to discuss today's trial with you in private.
In private? Ah, that's rich, like the whole world doesn't already know by now. But let's have a nice, friendly discussion about it. Why don't we? Shall we do that, son? Shall we talk about how you've systematically put my life and career in unbridled jeopardy?
Just don't spontaneously combust again. Not while I'm within the blast radius this time.
Oh, Mr. Wright. Poor, foolish, blissfully unaware Mr. Wright.
And Righty boy. Poor, foolish, blissfully unaware Righty boy.
Son, what you've done, what you've put into motion by bringing me to court. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy that you get to keep your career and your life. How I do envy you.
You need to learn how to match your emotions with what you're saying. I was out of options, Chief Foida. I had to find a way to bring another suspect to the table. Hemlock is the obvious candidate, judging by how he's apparently watching this case like a hawk. Now, why would a person do that unless they had something to gain from it all? Unless he was the true culprit and wanted to make sure his getaway went smoothly.
And I come into the picture. How exactly? Why choose me as your conduit? Why drag my proud name into the pigsty with him? Was it worth putting me under investigation just to throw the blame around like a toy?
No disrespect, Chief Foida, but it was necessary for me to cross-examine you. After all, we discovered some rather interesting facts from today's trial, didn't we?
Namely,
your possible ties to Hemlock, and I know a guilty reaction when I see one. Especially when said person, bursts into flames. The stolen evidence incident. There's something that doesn't sit right with me. You wanted the evidence found, yet you didn't want people looking too far into it. There was obviously something about that knife you're trying to keep a secret. Something to do with the mysterious other bloodstain, perhaps?
You just don't get it, do you? These baseless accusations. They all hinge on me being pally with Hemlock, correct?
Well, not so much pally, but dealing with him all the same, yes.
Then, that's impossible.
Huh? How so?
Because, young man, I'm going to repeat this for the absolute final blasted time. I'm in no way connected to that criminal scum Hemlock.
Four of them. The very same issue is what triggered them to appear the last time I asked about Hemlock. But this time it's different. I now have my Magatama. And I'm about to uncover what you're trying so desperately to hide, Chief Foida. Knife?
What you got there, son?
Oh, I'm probably just wasting my time with this evidence.
Don't be silly. I'm sure what you have there will be really interesting.
Well, it's just this really nothing special. But, of course, this isn't what I meant to show you. My hand slipped.
Smart move.
I guess he's not interested in this then. Well, he's not going to be interested in any of this, so I guess I just need to try to break the psyche locks now. I guess that's what I have to do. Chief Foida, it's odd that you want the missing evidence to be found but not re-examined. I think there's a reason as to why you don't want it to be looked into.
Come on, man. It's a very simple reason.
Oh? Would you care to share it with me?
Case evidence, however old, is a very delicate commodity. It cannot be tarnished by outside influences, for it would destroy all of its credibility. To contaminate evidence is to contaminate the case. Understand now?
That's very true, I admit, but it's not the reason I had in mind. The VD8 knife. The knife used by Vex Volper to kill Marvin Grossberg and then later Perry Docks. But no, one of many twists in court today revealed something we weren't expecting. That the faded bloodstain did not, in fact, belong to Marvin Grossberg.
Then whose do you propose it is, Mr. Wright? If it never belonged to the VD8 victim, then out with it, man. Whose blood was it?
I'm gonna have to take a stab in the dark on this one. I'm going to say that it is Hemlock's. Faded blood on the blade belonged to... Oh, okay, I guess not. I guess it did not belong to that person. Whose could it belong to then? Schadenfreude? Yours? No. I don't think I have enough evidence. I literally just said that before he said it. What the hell? I don't think I have enough evidence yet. I just had an Evan moment where I just connected with Phoenix. I should investigate and gather some more clues before I try again. Hold on. What if I present Hemlock to you? Will you say anything? Oh. Renko Law. Brisbane's house. Nobody around, and there doesn't seem to be anyone indoors either. Oh wait, I spoke too soon. What's he doing? He's just standing on the corner mumbling to himself.
Don't worry, we got this. We'll know this monster get payback, I promise. Then maybe I'll deserve your forgiveness. Both of you.
Ahem.
What the? Oh, it's you. You gotta start wearing a bell collar if you keep sneaking up on people like that.
You're saying I'm the one who can appear and disappear at will? Sorry, I could see you seem deep in thought. What are you doing around here, Grayson?
Working things out, boss. Trying to get an angle of what I should do next.
You and me both, believe me. While he's here, I'd better ask him more about what happened in court today. I think he's surprised I saw when you took the stand today to share your news. You really helped me out today, Grayson. I mean it. Thanks to you, the blame is now centered around Hemlock. You've created another suspect.
I should think I did too. Truth be told, boss, I've been a little antsy ever since the trial ended.
Why's that?
Hemlock, of course. I've pretty much announced to the world that he's causing trouble.
You can't think he's going to get back at you for doing that?
Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Maybe it'd be a stupid move, or maybe he's planning it right now. Who knows? I don't know, and that's what's been eating me up. We don't have a face to put to the enemy. He's literally a ghost, boss. None of us know what we're up against, and that's scary as hell.
Hence, the boogeyman. I know what you mean, but he can't hide forever. He knows we're onto him now. He more or less told me that himself earlier.
He told you?
Through means I don't know, he has my phone number. And judging by the content of the calls, it's obvious that he knows everything we've been up to.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying now in court. My only guess is that he's been busy bugging phones. Maybe he can hack them?
That was my guess. I've turned mine off for the time being, and I'm seeing what happens.
In the meantime, I'm just trying to come up with a plan to catch him out. Bring him out into the open, turn him into a tangible threat so we know what we're up against.
From what you were saying to yourself, it sounded like you had other things on your mind. So, what are you doing hanging around near the crime scene, Grayson? Have you been snooping around there and again? In there again?
No, that ain't it. Just need somewhere quiet to think something through.
Things like what?
Things that aren't yours, boss. Nothing for you to be sticking your snozzle in. Man's gotta have his problems, right? Fine. Was just saying a prayer for Warren. I owe him that much at least. Hoping that while he's kicking back with the big guy upstairs, he could somehow forgive me. Who was I kidding? I ain't Interpol no more. I can't keep my group safe. First Barrows almost gets himself killed, and now Warren.
Burrows, huh? Is that who you were referring to when you said both of you?
What? Were you listening to me?
Hey, I didn't mean to. I went ahem. What's with the snappy reaction? He's talking about Sarah Trent over here.
Harumph! Finding. Yeah, I was wishing Warren and Barrows both the best. I made mistakes by letting them go too far after releases and getting them both killed.
Killed? But Barrows wasn't killed as well. He just received a broken nose. You said yourself that he was almost killed.
Ah!
Were you talking about somebody else? Who else got killed besides Clive Warren?
You've heard enough, sister. I said too much. Now just clear on out of here.
Grayson's hiding something about the death of somebody else. Who else does he feel responsible for losing? I know what to do.
What's with the ultra-focused look all of a sudden?
I know you've been straight with me so far. Well, in a manner of speaking. But I think there are still some things you're not telling me about.
I expose my identity and risk my safety in court to lay down the hard truth. And you still think I'm hiding something, boss?
Well, you didn't exactly reveal your identity. Okay, so maybe you did. Maybe you did take a huge chance in turning this case around, which I do thank you for. But I'm curious about one thing, Grayson.
Uh-huh. What'd that be?
You never told me why you're tracking down the boogeyman and, by extension, Aculus's leader. Why would an ex-Interpol agent be carrying out unauthorized, holy shit, investigations of his own? Sounds to me like something either really big or really personal happened to you. You said yourself in court today that you had a score to settle with Hemlock.
Okay, you might want to keep a schnozzle screwed in on this one, boss. What business I have with him ain't any business of yours.
Okay, you don't have to answer outright. Just take a look at this and that'll be that. Grayson feels responsible for losing someone else to the boogeyman besides Clive Warren. Do I have a way to prove who it could have been? What evidence do I have to prove Grayson's vendetta against Hemlock? I'm sorry, man. I don't know if it was a sister, daughter, wife, girlfriend, whatever, but I'm sorry. This list. The names of the boogeyman's victims to date that you submitted to the court. I have a feeling that there's a name on this list that means a lot to you.
Okay, boss, I think you've had enough for now. Want to get back to your little investigation now? Clock's ticking after all.
Well, this is actually how I plan to use the time I have left, Grayson. A lot of truths have been kept from me by pretty much everybody on this case, but I now have the means to drag them all out into the light.
If you have that much belief in your truth-seeking powers. Fine, sister. I'll take you seriously. But only if you think you are to something here. I'll be pretty damn impressed if you somehow manage to work this one out all by yourself.
Well then, prepare the confetti because I'm about to.
But didn't we already say in court that Clive Owen was one of the bigger boogeyman's victims? Of course I'm sorry about his loss. No need to be running in circles here.
I'm not talking about Clive Oren.
Huh?
I'm talking about this name right here. This name here, number 6, Sarah Trent.
Sarah Trent? Well, what about her? She's just another name on that list as far as I'm concerned. Don't see what she has to do with me, and neither do you, I should think.
Thou... Phoenix, what the fuck are you... Thou dost... how do you say that? Thou dost protest too much, Grayson. But in all seriousness, I think she meant more to you than you let on. Could this be the other person Grayson was talking about when I arrived? To know for sure, I have to work out why this Sarah Trent was somebody he knew. And after a recent breakthrough, I think I know why she was.
Go ahead, Hot Shot. Just you try and connect me to this dame.
Where are you? Real name, James Trent. You must have had a very personal reason to be going after a serial killer. Especially one as dangerous as the boogeyman. Holy shit, this lock is taking so long to break. Or hemlock, if you prefer.
I already said that, boss. Once that's for the reason. The killer mistook him for a smuggling ring, remember? And... yeah, that.
Sure, you two were close, but there was someone else. Someone even closer. And didn't you say that the boogeyman soon began targeting regular civilians?
Lay off, sister. I don't know no Sarah Trent.
Ah, but I think you do, Grayson. Or should I say, James Trent?
Huh? How did you...
My client, Renwick Smith. He remembers where you two had crossed paths before.
Your client? That's where...
James Trent is a name by which he knows you. So where did that one come from? It's your real name, isn't it? And if that's the case, then Sarah Trent must have been very close to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Damn, boss. I really did underestimate you. All these years I've never even mentioned a peep about Sarah and you. Well, you're a better detective than I ever was. Like, you can't teach that kind of thing better.
Grayson, you sound different all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm sick of talking like I swallowed a crime noir movie. Pretty convincing cover, I know, but the truth remains, I'm just not a detective anymore. No matter how thick I laid the lingo on, it didn't bring back any of the glory days. Jerry Jackson, Terry Grayson. From now, I'm just plain old James Trent.
So you did know Sarah Trent, and on a very personal level, it seems.
Mm-hmm. After such a masterful bust, I think you deserve to know the score, as Terry'd say. Sarah was my wife.
Oh. No, I'm gonna cry. Oh, what the fuck? Can these onion ninjas get out of my room? Like, what the... Stop cutting onions, please.
Well, back in my policing days, back when she was Commissioner Crilly, my commissioner. It was cute when she got all authoritative. She wasn't a domineering type at all. So one thing led to another, like you do, and before we knew it, we were hitched. One day, we both received a lucrative offer to join the country's bench of Interpol. Guess you could say that we settled into a new position very nicely. Many crime lords were busted and many doors were kicked in. We became quite a team, me and Sarah, the husband and wife crime fighters. Then that case happened. Interpol caught wind of an international smuggling ring. We were tasked with looking into it, us and my longtime sidekick, Warren. But you know what happened to him not long after I sent him in on the cover. Then Sarah and I, our focus changed. We are now after the guy who tried to kill Warren. I requested the transfer to that case instead. Then we dug too deep, and Sarah, she...
Dug too deep? What do you mean?
At first glance, we seemed to be investigating who was behind the ring's activities. I stumbled upon something that surprised us both. We ended up looking into a string of carefully orchestrated murders. All the victims, it seemed, were high-ranking members of the Cadopian smuggling ring. It was one thing to try and kill Warren while posing as one of the higher-ups, but to straight-up murder the remaining members, we just had to know, me and Sarah. Could have set us up for life if we busted a mysterious phantom serial killer. But turned out this phantom had our number way in advance. He knew even 6 years ago that we were onto him. He'd stopped leaving his calling card, a torn piece of one of the ring's order cards. That was after the body I myself found in the courtroom incident, the DT2 aftermath. That didn't work because Sarah alone managed to identify the next victim, and the one after that. We identified 5 ring members and managed to pay off when we busted a serial killer as well. But, it wasn't to be. Retirement beach house, growing old together, he ended all of that.
I'm sorry. How did he...
Same thing he did all 2 of his other victims. See, when I said that the boogeyman began attacking regular civilians, that was a bit of a lie. There was only one non-ring member that he killed. And the only reason he did that? To get back at me. All she wanted to do right was to make the world a better place. And look where that got her. Her fate for following her dreams, her fate for paying the bills, her fate for living death. Is that really the kind of world we should be living in? Is that just the norm now? We try to make this sick, twisted world a better place, and for what? Do good people exist just as a source of benefit for the bottom feeders of this world? What's the point of it all? It's true. Some men just want to watch the world burn. And people like us, we're just a fuel on the fire.
It's true that good people did die left, right, and center. Life's just not fair. But however justly or unjustly, bad people die too. We all do one way or another. It's because we care so much about the good people dying that it resonates with us more. They're the deaths that are painful and stay with us for the rest of our lives. Believe me, Trent, I know what it's like to lose a good person at the hands of a criminal. But to be honest, even the most awful of people in some way have their place in the world. Because without them, we wouldn't recognize the work and deeds done by those who deserve it.
The old yin and yang argument, huh? Evil must exist in order for there to be good. Still no excuse for evil to slap us in the face time and time again. Still no excuse for evil to slap us in the face time and time again, though, is it?
No, it's not. I can't answer that, but I guess it's just the nature of evil. Evil has so many definitions. They mostly chalk up to individual people and isolated incidents. Whereas good is more universal in its definition, and as such, it's more of a collective force. That's why those who want to make a difference in the world all need to look out for each other. We have to all support one another in order to stand a chance in taking down the criminals. Through doing so, we avenge the loved ones we lost and ensure these tragedies don't happen again. Which is why it's important we come together to stop hemlock once and for all.
Damn right. When did you eat a degree in philosophy? A lot of that made sense, though, I guess. Me and Sarah may have been thorns in Hemlock's side for a long time, but he's still got this particular thorn lodged deep, and he ain't going anywhere. So who did you lose, then?
My mentor, the woman who taught me everything I know. I avenged her, too, and once I did, her loss just didn't affect me as much anymore. It's that sense of knowing that you can let go and get on living your own life. Sure, Maya could summon her pretty much whenever she wants, but it's best I leave that out. Actually, before I go, you said you were involved with DD2 somehow? I've been meaning to ask this since my last talk with Renwick, come to think of it. That was a heavy conversation. Oh, man. Those goddamn onion ninjas.
Oh, yeah. That's going way back now, to the Interpol days. They were investigating an incident in the courtroom where I found a body in the reading room. A body with a gash around his neck and a torn piece of card found in his pocket. That's why I met you a very interesting client, might I add.
Is the body one of Hemlock's victims?
Yep, and number 3 at that. I suspect Hemlock caught on to me and Sarah's meddling since then he left no evidence at all. That's why I started calling him the Boogeyman, attempting to give this anonymous threat some form. I toured around with Ghost and Spooky McSpookface, but Boogeyman ended up sticking.
So that's where it came from. And all along I thought it was Volper who coined the nickname.
I'm still surprised he picked it up from somewhere knowing that he was in with the smuggling ring. Must have worked closer with the man himself than we know.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind me swinging by sometime for a civil conversation.
You thinking of grilling him like you did to me? I should think you would. You got a natural talent for this kind of thing.
Supernatural, to be precise.
Come again?
Oh, nothing. Just thinking out loud. As much as I'd hate to go back and deal with Volper and his gibberish all over again, there's someone else who commands my attention right now. That person has a lot to answer for, so that should be my next move. There we go. Okay. So then I take that, and I go back to... police department. Whoa, why am I being stopped? Wow, it's even more chaotic in here than yesterday. What's rustled everyone's jimmies this time? Come on, Mike, that's just stupid. How could it be him of all people? The test results were conclusive, Detective. It is that person without any room for doubt. I can't say I've heard of him, but you appear pretty familiar with who he is. A guy from both VD8 and DD2, but the knife, I don't know what you want me to say. See you later, mate. Need to take a breather. Tea. Must have tea. Edgeworth, everything alright? Oh, right. I didn't know you were nearby. What was he and Detective Snow talking about? Whatever it was, neither one looks thrilled about it. So what was all that about, with you and Detective Snow? Remember the articles we discussed in court? The one requiring additional testing? Already? That was fast. The precinct must be on top form today. Yes, I arrived a short while ago after a call from the chief detective regarding the results. Why do they never call me about these things? By the way you and Detective Snow were talking, I take it the results were unexpected? Assaults. Which item do you want to hear about? Let's go with just top to bottom. What's the deal with the earpiece Chief Foyda was wearing in court today? It was purely a receiver, not something Chief Foyda could communicate back with. That transmitting signal, whatever it was, could not be found. It's currently unknown as to what exactly Chief Foyda was listening to. But it's a fairly obvious conclusion, I'm sure we can both agree on that. That someone was sending him messages. His testimony was directed by someone else. And the lack of a signal origin may point towards that someone wanting to keep it untraceable. Oh my god, I did not think I had dyslexia before doing this series, but holy shit, I think I do. The chief of police taking cues from an untraceable source in a court of law. I think he may have a lot of explaining to do, right? It's nigh on impossible that he wouldn't have had a hand in our current case. I agree. Do you think it's Hemlock too? At first glance, it seemed as though you were pulling a random name out of the air in sheer desperation. But I think the court and I may have been grossly mistaken. There's overreacting, and then there's spontaneously combusting under pressure. Connection with the mobster would undeniably destroy Chief Foyda's career and life. I knew it. That's what he's been hiding from me. I just need to go upstairs and prove it to his face. I'd like to know more about another item. Very well, right? Which one in particular? What did the police discover about the VD8 knife? They've examined the second faded bloodstain enough for a positive identification. And whose could possibly be besides Marvin Grossberg, the victim himself of VD8? A man Detective Snow appeared familiar with. And as VD8's attorney, you may well be too. Does the name Titus Crump mean anything to you? What? Titus Crump? Huh? I was expecting, like, Hemlock to come up. but I guess they can't really. If they were able to identify it as Hemlock, then they would know who Hemlock is now. But still, I was not expecting Titus Crump. Titus Crump? Yeah, he was involved with VD8. Well, in a manner of speaking. He's been killed before the murder and impersonated by Vex Vulper posing as a witness. But I don't see why his blood would be... Oh. This man's murder was looked into, wasn't it? Of course. Well, actually, no. What do you mean, no? The fake Crump ran from the courthouse and we supposedly found him dead in his home. Only that was actually the body of the real Crump. You didn't get a look at his body? And this knife wasn't brought into court at all? I don't know, Edgeworth. I really don't. I just assumed we were distracted by the fake Crump. So this knife must have been the cause of death, at Vex Vulper's hand. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, right? Chief Foida. It's entirely possible that he covered this whole thing up. My sentiments exactly. Well, specifically why? Why would the murder of this Titus Crump be held back from investigations? More and more questions to add to the pile of I don't know what. I'd like to know more about another item. Very well, right? Which one in particular? What about the finger puppet? Were there any traces found on the inside? A small plastic thimble for gripping was found inside the puppet. Fingerprints can easily be imprinted onto the material. And a print matching Vulpa's right index finger was found. Naturally, I reckon he's been playing with it non-stop. Another fingerprint was found, faded slightly beneath the imprint of Vulpa's. Is that Hemlock's? Given that we still have no clue as to who he is, any unidentified print could be his. Except that this one has been identified, and positively so. And whose is it? Curiously, it belongs to the defendant, Renwick Smith. Oh. Could he be Hemlock? Could Renwick be Hemlock? I remember looking at this, and it does. I said this before, but I can't tell if that is a like paper shred or if that's brown hair. But it could Renwick could definitely be Hemlock. I don't want it to be though. Because I actually really like Renwick now. What would Detective Smith's prince be doing there? Why would he handle the puppet? There's still so much about the defendant we would not know. Things that may explain why his records have either been wiped or don't exist. Oh. They've been wiped because he... Well, no, because he talked to Hemlock. Oh. What is going on? Many aspects of this case have left me unsettled, but this, right, I'm asking you to be extremely cautious from here on out. I've had a very bad feeling about this case from the start. You and me both, Edgeworth. Don't worry, I'll take care. The puppet. Vulper says he received it from the boogeyman. There's still the mystery of who exactly paid him a visit, and there's no way it could have been Detective Smith, not while he's been in detention. It's remarkably crafted for a simple finger puppet, almost unsettlingly so. I suppose, what's so unusual about that? I'm not quite sure. Just a bad feeling. I suppose it doesn't matter much in the grand scheme of things. Chief Wada has a lot to answer for, it seems, and a lot of very damaging suspicions to explain himself out of. He is bound to be holding a psycho lock on the subject. Try to break it, right? Psycho lock? A what? Did you say psycho? Yeah, psycho lock, that's right. You still remember how my Magatama works then? Actually, speaking of my Magatama, it was stolen from me a while back and replaced with a fake. And guess who had the original? Chief Foida. He still has that whole other mess to clear up as well. And this Crump puppet Vulper supposedly received from him. Wait, this puppet is a likeness of Titus Crump? Yes, Hemlock must have had a hand in the cover-up of Crump's murder too. Chief Wada is no more than a ventriloquist dummy. Then it is decided. You must expose him for the whitewashing coward he is. If he has been abusing his power to cover up past cases, who knows what he's been hiding from us now? What's everyone here so worked up about today? It seems that there's some sort of suspicious file showing up on people's cell phones. The way I heard the story, an officer reported this to his colleague who also had it. And then a chain reaction occurred of almost the entire precinct finding this file on their phones. How exactly is it suspicious? Like a computer virus? That's just it, they can't tell. From what I've heard, no activity has been registered from the file. An instance is being analyzed as we speak, but is heavily encrypted, which only raises concerns that we are dealing with a potentially malicious file. The only thing they know is its name. Grapevine. Grapevine? Odd. I can't be sure that it has any relevance to our case, but I'm keeping an ear to the ground. There are enough enigmas to this case that needs to be already, wouldn't you agree? You know when Edgeworth's nervous that we're in the middle of something serious. Anything else you've uncovered today that would be a great help? There was this note. Where did you get that? Well, it doesn't look like the kind of note Brisbane would stick to his refrigerator. This is found well hidden in Brisbane's sofa under further investigation. Again, another thing buried in his sofa? That thing is like a fucking black hole. Oh, shit. Are coming over to discuss action plan. 5 a.m. R for Robert or R for Renwick? Hey, Titus. Was Brisbane expecting company that night? It appears so, and to my knowledge, R can only be one person. 5 a.m., so that's when Detective Smith arrived on the scene. But he left 3 minutes later. 5:03 a.m. was when Miss Weaver saw him leaving the house. Why was their meeting cut so short? Thanks for letting me know about this, Edgeworth. Is there possibly anything else you found today? Nothing else about Hemlock, if that's what you're angling for. By that, I hope you mean you found more? Nothing new, I'm afraid, but I have been reading the DT2 case file. Oh, any particular reason? I was hoping to look more into Detective Jackson's investigation of Hemlock's murders. There's no copy of the official Interpol report here, so I tried some files in the records room. Any luck? One of Hemlock's victims was found behind a bookcase in the court's reading room. A Mr. Blaine Schill, who is disclosed as a top member of the Cadopian smuggling ring. And this took place shortly following the DT2 trial. Shortly following DT2? Then that must mean the body was discovered by the detective assigned to formalize the evidence from that trial's incident. Detective Smith. So he found one of Hemlock's victims in the court library. It appears so. Did he ever mention something of the sort? I've asked him about his first investigation before, but he seemed to be holding something back. Perhaps it was the unwanted discovery of a murder victim. How would he hide that, though? That's what worries me. I can present so much stuff to you now. Is there anything you can tell me about this, Edgeworth? Sorry, right? I don't think that's something I can help with. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Move. Chief's up. Oh, I can go see Volper now. No, I'm gonna try to break the Chief's locks first. I'll see how far I can get. The fuck you hiding, dog? What the fuck are you hiding? It was already established that the bloodstain left on the knife around the time of VD8 was not in fact Grossberg's, so then who does it belong to? Titus Crump, that's who.
Titus Crump? I believe you're confused, young man.
I don't think so, Chief Foida. You see, Titus Crump was the sole witness of VD8. Except he wasn't. Vex Volper killed him beforehand and impersonated him to create a witness. And after the circumstances surrounding this knife have changed, it's safe to assume that this was the murder weapon to kill Titus Crump, not Grossberg.
Ahem. Titus Crump. Sorry, son, but that name doesn't register. Sounds like the name of a pretentious fop to me.
You're not far off, actually. Maybe you do know more about him than you'd have us believe.
Pah! Don't you think you've done enough wonton damage for today, sonny boy? You should have just handed me your badge. It's pretty much the same way you're going right now.
By not answering my questions truthfully, you're only damaging yourself, you know. Which brings me on to my next point. Why this knife was withheld from the VD8 investigation. And not only that, but why a lid was put on Crump's murder at all. Now, who would have ordered such a thing, Chief Foida?
That was all Volper's doing, not mine. I can't pretend to know what harebrained madness he has brewing in his poisoned head. You think I'd associate myself with a serial killer with mashed potatoes for brains?
Being in position of power, Foida must have been the one who ordered the Crump cover-up. But if he's so vehemently against everything Volper stands for, why protect him? You're wrong, and I can prove it. You withheld this vital evidence from the VD8 investigation for one reason. Yeah, I think I'm stuck here now. I think I have to go to, I have to go visit Vex. What? Where is he? Volper's asleep. Wake up! Wake the fuck up! I need to talk to you. Such a depressing cell. There's not a lot to look at in here. The only thing that even remotely holds my interest is the barred window up there. Wake up, bro! I need to talk to you. Okay. Fine, stay asleep. Oh. Well. Detention center. Shit. Where the fuck do I go? Um... Grapevine? I don't know about that, bro. I can't think of what reason Chief Foida would have had to cover up Crump's murder. For what reason? I just can't think of why. Nicknamed the Boogeyman, it says here, believed to be Hemlock. You know what? My head hurts. I don't want to waste my time. I'm going to look at the guide. Okay, so apparently I have to present Perry Docs to the second Psyche Lock. I'm very confused on why. I don't understand why, but I guess I'm about to find out. How? This knife, it bears the prints of Vulper with the blood of Titus Crump to match. I reckon the VD8 trial would have been over in a heartbeat if this knife was presented at the time. It's pretty conclusive proof, isn't it? Now, take into account that this very same knife was recently used to murder Perry Docks. A vital clue in that investigation was the presence of Vulper's prints on the knife. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to see a plan come together here. Oh, to blame Vulper for the murder of Perry Docks. To make it seem like the knife also killed Grossberg. To reuse his prints. To get him convicted for that murder because Hemlock actually killed Perry Docks. That makes sense. I just dislike the way I just dislike the answer. Having to present Perry Docks, I dislike that answer. It should have been something else.
That's enough. You're talking pure gobbledygook, man.
Am I? Or am I on the right track and you just want me to shut up? I think, Chief Fueda, that the reason you preserved this knife was to preserve Vulper's prints, so that he would be the fall guy for Doc's murder afterwards.
Oh, no way! I'm being threatened, son. I don't know who or why, but I was told to hide the existence of that knife. I wasn't to approve it amongst the rest of that case's evidence for some reason.
You know what, Chief Fueda? I believe you.
That's because you're starting to see sense.
You may very well be right, because I know who it is.
Oh, not this again. I thought we were past throwing around random names.
Somebody is threatening you, and you know very well who. Do I have to repeat myself?
But you have no proof. You can't just say his name without...
Without what? Concrete evidence? Chief Fueda, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say the name of your blackmailer, and then I'm going to present proof.
You got some nerve, son. Swanning around, acting like you know everything. You know nothing, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly understand what's at stake here.
In all honesty, Chief Fueda, I'm tired of hearing that. And I bet you're tired of being controlled by this person. I'm going to say Hemlock for this one, because, like, there is the boogeyman, but I think it's talking about Hemlock here. First of all, his name. Once again, Hemlock is the one breathing down your neck.
Yes, I know his name. You've said his name for the umpteenth blasted time now.
Then why do you keep denying it? We all know by now that Hemlock is controlling you and giving you orders.
Because he's listening, you twerp!
You keep saying that, but how exactly do you know that?
Look, son, Mr. Wright, please don't say anything too compromising out loud.
Fine, I'll show you instead. I'm sure Hemlock won't mind.
Show me? But that's impossible. There's nothing you could...
I believe so, and I also believe you have this item too. Ah, the program. It's on everyone's phones, and it is just tracking. It's probably accessing the microphone. So join in and bring out your copy of the item that ties you to Hemlock. 1, 2... 3.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to...
What? What are you here to do, sonny boy?
I'm here to, carefully reconsider my words?
Correct.
No. Nuh-uh. Is it the document? They've been destroyed, though. Well, I can't access any other place, so it has to be here, and I may have to look at the guide again, but... like... I don't think I... Oh, shit. No, I didn't mean to press that. Hold on. Is it the card? It's the card? 3. I guess it's the card.
How did you get...
You know what this is, and I know you have one of these as well. You see, earlier when I came in and saw you pacing the room, you were ranting to something in your hand, which you quickly pocketed once you saw... That's bullshit. It should have told me he pocketed something then. You thought I didn't see it, but it's been there in your breast pocket the whole time. Oh, it is. God damn it. Should be more perceptive. It's an Aculus order card, isn't it? Which means there must be an order for Hemlock on it. Admit it, you're in cohorts with Hemlock. Now show me that card. Oh, it's doing the sound effect for me. I don't have to do it. Good. Please don't spontaneously combust. There you go. You're chill now. Never mind. Oh my god. Calm down. Eat a Snickers bar. You're not you when you're hungry. Did you get a Snickers bar? Good. So it's true. For whatever reason, Dangerous Man is blackmailing the chief of police. All this time, you've been the figurehead for someone else.
It's over. It's over for me now, Mr. Wright. Congratulations. You've exposed my corruption and brought my career and my very life to its knees. Once this scandal hits the papers, I'm done for.
I just want to know the truth, Chief Foida. Why agree to work with a maniac like Hemlock?
How can I word this delicately? Hemlock isn't like any individual I've ever known. His information gathering skills rival those of Blue Corp. And that's only second to his ability to know everything that's going on with Aculus.
Is that why he ordered Detective Smith to steal my Magatama? Does he somehow know why this item is so important to me?
I don't know how he does it, son, but he just knows. Especially when you've gone behind his back. That's why I have to surround myself in this blasted cold all the blasted time. My nervous habit, he knew it would give me away. I know he's listening, so I can't go into detail as to what he had over me. But all along, I've just been Hemlock's proxy, a mere puppet. He used my power to do anything he wanted, including...
Including what?
Including the VD8 cover-up.
He orchestrated that? I don't understand.
I wasn't always chief of police, you know. 5 years ago, I was forced to step down. Made a mistake. Made the mistake of angering a certain someone. That was when the threats began. You've seen my temper today for what it really is, so you can imagine how I responded.
Was it intentional, or was it an accident?
That I can't say. Then I'll end up having a mysterious accident for sure. But after my predecessor stepped down, Hemlock reinstated me as chief so I could provide support. Having a corrupt police chief at his disposal to handle all the legal stuff.
How on earth does a mobster have the power to choose the next chief of police? Just how much influence does this Hemlock guy have?
Like I told you, Hemlock isn't like anyone I've ever known. He takes the meanings of ambition and drive to an impossible level. I don't have a lot left to lose from this point on, so I'll tell you more about them.
More about what?
About us. Aculus. Aculus. Formed from the leaderless remains of the Cadopian smuggling ring. Formed by an opportunist ex-member who became the top guy at it at the time of its collapse.
Is there a particular reason Hemlock wanted to take over?
I'm sure he has his own devious plans for our future somehow. But I know his primary goal in taking over.
What is it?
A little backstory is in order before I elaborate on that. Hemlock has, and I use this term incredibly lightly, a touch of obsessive-compulsive disorder.
OCD?
I'm sure you're familiar with the condition. An anxious mind creates all sorts of obsessive thoughts that won't shake loose no matter what. And the sufferer's compulsions manifest in rituals and safety behaviors to satisfy them.
But what does OCD have to do with becoming a criminal mastermind?
Hemlock's OCD is, quite a bit more unstable than the average man. Actually, I take that back. It's an insult to associate with him with regular sufferers. Whatever he has is far more psychotic, but the gist of it is similar. He sees the world in a different way to everybody else. His way. He will refuse to allow any negative impact to the airtight bubble he's trapped himself in. In his eyes, life revolves around him, and he's tirelessly working to make that a reality. This man would find a way to physically be in two places at once if he tried.
I recall him saying something similar to me on the phone back in the office. That's ridiculous. He can't possibly think he can do anything.
Well, he's devising a way as we speak, which is where Oculus comes in. A collection of agents all over the world, all threatened by Hemlock, all forced to work for him.
How on earth could a smuggling ring help his so-called quest for world domination?
Smuggling ring? What makes you think Oculus is a smuggling ring?
Well, it was formed from the remains of a smuggling ring, so everyone thought that...
That's not the case here, son. Oculus is much, much more. Think about it. He has thousands of agents all over the world at his beck and call. And all he wants to do is satisfy his condition by removing all negativity from his life. In short, Oculus is Hemlock's private task force. His reason for becoming ringleader was simply to gain the widespread manpower to further his own goals. The manpower and the money. Those are his true objectives.
And how is he getting along with the money aspect?
He already has it, son. He recently obtained an object worth billions of dollars from the home of Earl Brisbane.
Oh, wait, no. But Renwick had it. When Renwick was holding it. No. And he does seem like the type of guy who would have OCD. With the way he stays quiet all the time. And the way he, the way he scribbles down in his notepad. The way he has to have a perfect investigation. Oh no, the Enigmium. So that's why I tried to kill Brisbane. I just knew he was behind it all. And you knew all along. He really was on the other end of that earpiece you wore in court.
Son, I'm aware of my corruption. I know what I must do. I'll be stepping down as chief of police immediately. I'm just glad to get all of that off my chest. Even if you'll be coming for me in some way, shape, or form. Mr. Wright, you have to make things right again and stop him before he gets out of control.
Or rather, before he gets too much control.
Yeah, take this. I've had it up to here with the blasted cards. I've burned all the others as per his nib's instructions, but I held on to this one.
The order on the back. It confirms Hemlock was behind the VD8 scandal.
Do what you want with it. I won't need it where I'm going.
Let's take a look at it. Hey, Chiefster, need you for another favor. Seen the enclosed knife? Keep it out of the current VD8 case investigations. Once it's all wrapped up, place it back with the VD8 evidence. And don't mess up the prints. Think you can do that? Reason. The Red Devil and his brother Miscellaneous Lackey number 340 went behind our backs years ago with the Enigmium. They made my life more complicated, so I'm returning the favor. Burn this afterwards. You know the drill. You're the man. LH. Just one question before I go. And you don't have to answer because I'll find out anyway. Have you seen him in person? Do you know Hemlock's identity?
Shut the door on your way out. He hates when the cold escapes.
Very well. Thank you for your cooperation, Chief Foyda.
Goodbye, Mr. Wright.
Well, he's so gonna die. He is so gonna die, dude. He's so fucking gonna die. Okay, well, I think it's time to go visit Volper. You better be awake. you piece of shit. Boop da boop da boop. Look who's awake. Boop. Boop ba doop ba boop ba doop. Fuck. Badoof? Hello, Volper. Zippa. Zippity doo bop bop. Volper, I'm not in the mood for games today. Right? I mean, righty boy? Listen to me, Volper. I'm getting closer to revealing Hemlock today, and I need answers urgently. Oh, righty boy, my very own righty boy. My execution's next week, chum. 5 days before I'm off for a permanent vacation. Then I won't have to put up with any more of this crap anymore. Volper, I've been having second thoughts about your last 2 crimes. What did you say? Good, that got his attention. Now please shut up so I can clear some of these nagging doubts. The Chief of Police has told me some very interesting things about the elusive Mr. Hemlock. Ah! Don't say his name 3 times in a row. You never know, one of these days you just might have summoned him. Good. In case you haven't noticed, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. But anyway, Chief Foyda has parted with a few tidbits on Hemlock. I was hoping you'd do the same. Trust me, we're this close to identifying him, and once we have, we can try him in court. What do I, a lowly half-a-bit killer, have in common with a majestic crime lord like Hemlock? Well, we did establish yesterday that you... No, it's a joke, bro. What does a lowly half-a-bit killer have in common with... Volper, shut up! I've had it up to my neck with you and your crap. Why do you think I keep coming here? You think I like coming to visit you? You think I'd want to associate myself with a lowly half-a-bit killer, as you so put it? No! From day one, I couldn't wait for you to be behind bars for what you did to Mr. Grossberg. You're a vile, pathetic excuse for a creature, and I'm trying now to save you. You're doing what? As much as you deserve everything you've gotten, I still need your help. Now, for the love of all that is holy, please answer my questions. Wow. You're serious, huh? Okay, fine. Fair enough. Serious face on. Thank you! Well, right now, I want any dirt on Hemlock you have. And don't worry about him listening to us. I'll take full responsibility myself. Damn, righty boy. You're either really stupid or really, really stupid. Right. Now, as for him, like I said, I never met the guy personally. I think he prefers keeping himself anonymous. He must think it makes him scarier. Well, you seem scared of him, so it must be working. Hemlock's like a big spider. How'd you come up with that analogy? What they both have in common. Scarier when you can't see them. So true, dude. Like, you'll see a spider, like, in the corner of your room, and you, like, grab, I don't know, like, a spray can to kill it, or you grab, like, a sandal. You go back, it's fucking gone. Time to burn the house down. Shit, I opened Chrome. Oh. And scarier still how he seems to be everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. One begins to think he's just a figment of a collective imagination. I really doubt he's imaginative. Chief Foyda hinted at having met him in the flesh before, as well as a certain doubt that's recently crept into my mind. Regarding you. Huh? What? What doubt? What about me? About the recent murders of Perry Dock and Cedric Maplethorpe. I don't think you're to blame. Don't be idiotic, righty boy. Of course that was me. As I suspected, he's getting defensive again. Better press the issue more. Volper, I'm serious. After some recent breakthroughs, I'm willing to look further into these 2 murders. I think a certain somebody else is to blame and is setting you up as his fall guy. For whatever reason, Hemlock really has it in for you and wanted you framed for those murders. I'm right, aren't I, Volper? Hemlock is the true culprit behind Dock's and Maplethorpe's deaths. No! No! It was me. I deserve death for them. Five. And why am I not surprised? Volper's black heart holds many, many secrets, and now they finally manifest themselves. Could I actually be right in that he was framed for those 2 murders? Considering the reveal of a certain cover-up, perhaps it didn't just end there. And as an answer to his Aculus involvement hiding somewhere within these locks? But for better or for worse, here goes everything. We're going to break those psyche locks next time.